Hi everybody, this is just a little video because I'm going to start doing episodes of cooking, and I'm going to use the tarot, and the tarot is called the Cook's Tarot, and that's it. There is a review on it, so if you would like to have a look at the Cook's Tarot, then go and have a look at the reviews, and you are seeing the more or less the true colors. So that is the Cook's Tarot, and I'm going to use that. And I asked the tarot cards, can you give me a card for the Cook's Tarot, and what can I make? So when I pulled this card, I got the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles, and the first idea I got was save money. So at Christmas you will have more money for the Christmas dinner. So I have decided, because there's all the colors in it, from carrots to greens, and also the color of bouillon, which is brownish creamish, and also vegetables like in the back. So I decided on my mum's vegetable soup with meatballs, and the balls are representing the pentacles. So I think that's great. I could have chosen for goose, but I'm on my own and I didn't want goose, and I just want to save some money for a Christmas dinner, so I can be lavish and luxurious at Christmas time. And so I'm going to chop and change my video, and if I hope you will like it, and I hope you will share it, because I had such beautiful responses on my pumpkin soup. So I'm going to do this because it's the Cook's Tarot, so every time I do a recipe I will pull a card or cards. I had to only pull one, so this is an ending and a new beginning as well. So this is the beginning of the series that I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it as long as I enjoy, and I can make you happy, and I hope you will enjoy it too. So please join me in the kitchen for the second half of the video. Thank you. Hi everybody, well, here you are. Welcome into my kitchen. I've got the ingredients out, and it is it is dusk, so I've put all the lights on so that we don't get the same effect as Halloween, ghosty and dark. So I've got a pair of oven gloves, I've got a 2.5 litre pan, stainless steel, I've got a mixing bowl, I've got salt and pepper, and I don't know whether you can get this in your country, but this is bouillon, and bouillon is stock, concentrated stock with meat in it, because we Dutch, we also eat soup meat and meatballs. Then you can either use vegetable cubes if you're a vegetarian to make this soup, or you can use stock cubes as well, but I'm using a little packet because this is the Dutch traditional bouillon, to strengthen its stock as well for the taste, with dried vegetables. I also have fresh vegetables. Now for the meatballs you need at least about 3 ounces of minced meat, and I've got half beef, half pig, because that's also standard in Holland. That's cheaper than beef. And then we need an egg, and I've got free ranged eggs. So first of all I'm going to make the meatballs, and then I've got a little bit too much meat, so I can use the other half to make big meatballs and cook them with vegetables and boiled potatoes or mashed potatoes. And that's what I'm going to do, because I'm on my own, or I'm together with somebody, my daughter for instance, so I only have small quantities. But for 2.5 liters you can at least feed 6 to 7 people. Depends on how big the bowls are that you ladle out. Okay, so I'm going to change the camera onto my hands. I hope you don't mind. So stay with me, and I've got the headset on, so if there's any noise outside, that will be excluded, hopefully, or the dog barking or whatever. And it's quite strange to stand here in the kitchen with headphones on. So if somebody looks in, then they most probably think I'm nutty talking to myself. Never mind, all in the good cause. Take care. First of all, I'm going to open up the minced meat. I usually buy it in big quantities, and the other half um, I've already used. So I'm going to use about half of it for the meatballs, or you can use all of it like I said. And there's an ambulance going out. I hope you around, so I hope you don't hear that. Once you've separated the meat, you can garnish it or season it with salt, and then with pepper, and we also put nutmeg in it, and I will do that as well. So here we go. I'm just going to put some more nutmeg in it, and that brings it to taste. Okay, then I grab the egg, and I'll put all the everything that I have to throw away. I'll do it in the sink for the time being, because the line on my microphone isn't that big enough or long enough, so I have to stay within a half a meter distance. So we've got Dutch rusks, and they are, I don't know whether you can see that, but you can also use this for breakfast, eat it. You can also use breadcrumbs. So you know, like when you dip chicken or fish in breadcrumbs before you fry them, you can use that as well. But you can also use recycled bread. Like if you've got old bread, then you can toast it, and then you can crumble it up in ready and put it in a container ready for when you do chicken or fish or meat with breadcrumbs in the deep fryer. So this is, like I said, when we did the Healthy Witch series, and the Healthy Witch, this is recycling, being sparing with the stuff that you have, and then just mix it. Okay. So I can't touch the computer either, because my fingers are dirty. And I think I might need some more Dutch rusk, but I'll use breadcrumbs instead, because that's open. You can get also seasoned breadcrumbs, so that adds to the taste as well. Now this mixture that I'm making is also the mixture for big meatballs, so I might as well put this in it and mix it properly, because I'll be baking that later tonight. The egg makes it stick together. The breadcrumbs makes it sort of also stick together. And you could even make 4 meatballs out of this. I don't really eat meat, not that much, but I'll just make 2 meatballs from this. Now a man eats more than that anyway, so does my daughter. She's a hard worker. She burns up a lot of energy. And if not, then you can just, if it is fresh meat from the supermarket, then you can just deep freeze the raw meat. Now the meatballs are just turned, and this is a tradition that I used to do with my mum and my sister. We used to sit in the kitchen. This kitchen is too small, but usually the kitchen is the heart of the home, and you can ask your children or somebody in the family to come and help you in the kitchen. And this is very nice on Christmas Day, for example, any day of the year at that time when you're making a dinner for the family, or when family or friends come round, and you just can natter around and just make meatballs. You can, here in Holland, you can get pre-made processed meatballs, but they're not half as nice as your own. Now, if you are a herb freak, you can also put Provençal herbs in it, but it's to everybody's taste. So this is something that you can do with children, and you can experiment with, and you know, this is also nice if you like to deep fry them. Instead of using sausage meat, you can use the minced meat and put a hard-boiled egg in, and then bring it through whisked egg, and then put it through the breadcrumbs, and then you've got a Scottish egg. So there's more recipes that you can make from just minced meat. Okay, right. And again, if you've got a lot of meatballs, then you can deep freeze them for the next time. And I'll be sharing this with my daughter and neighbours. There you go. Nearly finished. And I really enjoy doing this for you, and I hope you enjoy watching. I've been asked, when are you going to start doing more soups? So perhaps it will be just soups, not 3-course meals, because it is on video and it is a small kitchen, so we have to do with what we've got. If there's anybody else that's got recipes or suggestions, then please let me know. Okay, I'm just going to wash my hands. I'll cut this out, obviously, but I can't switch the computer off, so I'll have to start in a moment again. 20 minutes, 20 seconds, and that should be thorough with hot water. Watch out the computer wires. Ooh, I'm burning my hands here, but I'm cutting it out anyway. Okay, that's that. So like you can see, I've cleared away the breadcrumbs, the Dutch rusks, the meatballs that were standing here, because I have to fry them. They're not going into the soup, and the eggs. Now what I'm going to do to maintain the freshness of these soup balls, I'm just going to put a plate over the bowl so they stay fresh, nothing can happen to them, and we're going on to the next thing. Now you can boil the kettle, but I've got the computer standing where my kettle usually stands, and you just have to make the stock. So now you can boil your kettle and do 1.5 litres. I think 1.5 litres, I don't know how many it is in pints. Let me see. 1.5 litres is 1.5 litres is approximately 5.5 fluid ounces. Okay, so I don't know in American, so but it is like this jam jar. I use the jam jar, and this jam jar is 340 milliliters. So I use, and I dilute it really strongly. I open the jam jar and I put in 3 jars of water. Now before I start, this is what you can see in the pan. That is the concentrated bouillon or stock with the pre-cooked meat, soup meat. So that's like braising steak meat. Now I'm really diluting this with 3 jars. So 3 times 4 is 1200 milliliters. So it's nearly 1300 milliliters. So that's 1 liter, 300 milliliters. Just put the fire on, the gas or electric. Just let it go there. And this is the easiest part, okay? Just put it on. I hope you can see it. I'll move the camera in a bit, doing 2 things at the same time. So let's have a look. I don't dare to put it close to the fire because this is the only camera I have. There you are. So wooden spatula. I've got one with a hole, like you can see. That is really handy because that's when the vegetables can go through the hole, and you can really mix the soup much better in stirring, and always stir in the infinity, like number 8. So stir like this, like if you're drawing an 8. Okay, now I'm going to put in the spices, that is salt and pepper. If you would like to have extra salt and pepper and more concentrated stock, because I diluted it quite well, because you've got enough for 6 to 7 people here. And just put in the powder, and that is just a little bit of green mushrooms. And if you don't have this, then you can get some parsley, you can get some vermicelli, or very thin rice, or you can also use very thin spaghetti. They call it minestrone, and that is what you can put in afterwards. But you first have to bring it to boil then, before you put in the minestrone. So now I've got dried mushrooms and parsley in here. You can also use tinned mushrooms and dice them up really small. I wish I could bring the camera over, but I can't. And the minestrone, that is Dutch as well. In Holland we have vermicelli, which is let's have a look. I've got a better picture. Let's have a look. Right. Now, you've got vermicelli here. You can see the little bits of minestrone. They use it in goulash soup as well. So this soup will be a thick soup. It will be a soup that you can make within a half an hour. Okay, that's besides the meatballs. So I'm just stirring it because I don't like my soup to boil, but just near to boiling point I put in the meatballs. I'm just going to put the computer on stop so that I have enough battery left over in a minute. Right, so what I wanted to show you as well is, before I'm going to throw it in, we have leek in this soup, we have carrots in this soup, we have cauliflower. It's really diced very smallly. Even the roots of the cauliflower, or the stalk, the stick, we have in the soup. You can also put potato in the soup. Sometimes I put potato in this soup. And now I'm going to put in the meatballs. And the easiest way to put in the meatballs is to rest your spoon so that you don't get hot water thrown towards your face. And take a spoon. You can either let them roll off of the spoon and somebody else is holding on, because that is what happens. So what I do is I take a spoon and put them in and just ladle them gently in so that you don't have any burns whatsoever. Just ladle them in with the spoon, and that's it. That's the meatballs. So you have meatballs and meat soup. Now the meat soup, that's usually small pieces of braising steak that you can use, and they just cook and they split, and you get like stripped pork. I don't know if you know that, but it's stripped meat, stripped beef, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Now here we've also got peas. Look at that, we've also got peas in it. So the dried vegetables in that packet, they also had peas. You can use any vegetable at all, but I would suggest use broccoli or cauliflower and leek, because it makes it a bit more spicy, otherwise it is just dull. Now the balls, the meatballs, they are turning grey, and here we have the two kinds. You can see that. Oh, you can see the meat. Oh, well, the dog's got that. That's Millie. So that is the meat, a cube of meat. I mean, that stays out because that fell off. And then you've got the meatballs, and they're really solid. Do you see? So now I'm ready. It's not boiling, but it's frothing at the side. So that tells me it is time to lower the soup to low, and then start putting in the vegetables. Now I've got a packet here of half a kilo, 500 grams. So I'm going to put in about half of the packet. Because I want it really thick, because that's my evening meal. And this is also very good and healthy when you're on a diet. Now see how dense it is, and if you think, well, that's not really thick, then put in some more. And like I said, you can make totally like a quick stew is this vegetable soup, and also because of the minestrone that's in it, that will thicken it up as well. And you can keep some of the vegetables to sprinkle over your soup when you dish it up. And now you just gently put it on the lowest heat that you have, and you just let it cook, and every so often you just stir. Now what is also in here is courgettes, and that's grated courgettes. So it's lovely, it's really super, and especially on cold winter nights. We've also got celery in here, that's French parsley. Okay, we've got celery, parsley, we've got the ordinary parsley. So we've got French parsley or celery, the green celery. You can also use celery sticks. We've got different types of celery that we call celery. I'll see whether I've got a picture of it. I'll get one from from internet, and I'll stick it in the video that I make. And we've got parsley, French parsley, the ordinary parsley. You can put sticks celery in here. You can French celery, that's the French parsley. You can put potatoes in here, peas. I've got peas, carrots, cauliflower, leeks, meatballs, and meat and stock. Now if you like to experiment, you might like to do this with chicken stock, chicken vegetable soup, and you can get minced meat from chicken meat, so you can make the meatballs from that. It's just a suggestion, so there is an alternative. Now the rest of the vegetables I'm going to put back into the fridge, and I always put a washing peg on my bag, so that closes it off and nothing can fall out, and that goes into the fridge or the cooler. And now I just let it sit there, and that is all you have to do. About 15 minutes, 20 minutes, it all depends how crispy you want the vegetables, but like I said, I kept the vegetables, that I had left over to put on my plate. Once I've ladled it out in my plate, I can put some crunchy bits on top. Now this sounds really crazy, but this soup is really nice with parmesan or grated cheese, mature grated cheese. Now you can make this dish as rich as you like. I hope you have enjoyed this, and this saves money because you can feed a family of 6 with this, and it's healthy, it's warm, and it's scrumptious, it's filling, and it will warm you up, especially when you come home from a walk in a wet or windy day. Please let me know what your reactions are, and take care again, and I hope you've enjoyed the tarot and cooking. Take care. Bye bye.